Welcome to my first live. I happen to be home and have some time on my hands, and I thought, let's give this a try. I need to figure out how to use the live feature. My name is actually Eric. I go by Art Ed Guru because I'm a teacher. And as an art teacher, art education is my thing. So, art education teacher. So I've been teaching art for 36 years now. I ran an art gallery for 25 years. Have some work in some nice collections. So I also work as an artist and an illustrator. I'm also an author. I've got probably over 75 books that I've written so far, mostly art related. But I thought I'd do this live and see if anybody has any questions for me. I got to figure out how to navigate the system and see, where do comments show up and stuff like that. Yeah, welcome to my first live. I kind of made this channel to bring all of my TikTok content over to YouTube because I kind of figured TikTok was going out. I didn't want to lose thousands and thousands of videos there. So on TikTok, I have over 600,000 followers. And I wanted to see, how we might do over on YouTube. So that's kind of, when I say click the thing below, on TikTok it was live, but on YouTube you have to actually Google the artist's name and you can find them. But I do check that those searches will work and update artist information because I like to credit the people that I duet. So I wanted to see if anybody has any questions, and I got to figure out how to see the questions if they're in here. So let me look around. Could someone just type hello, and then I can kind of see where it shows up, if it shows up. So let's see. Nope. Don't want to do that. Okay. Hello, I got a few more people showing up. I'm trying to figure out where I find the comments. So if anybody wants to ask me a question, I can answer that. I am not seeing that. Let's see. Okay, not there. What if I bring down? Nope. Nope. Okay. All right, so I'm trying to find out if anybody has any questions, and I can't see where the comments would be. Now I gotta get my old eyes out and look. Let me see what this does. All messages. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where I see messages. If anyone's typed hello, I'm trying to find that because this is my first time doing a live. All right. Oh, ETAVR hi. Okay, so that's how I see it. I'm sorry, guys. This is my first live. I'll just reintroduce myself since we've got 16 people now. Ooh. So I'm an art teacher from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I teach in an urban high school. Most of my students are not going to go on to an art-related career, but I make sure that my content is engaging and helpful to them. When we do our art projects, I'm also teaching math and history and science and literacy and all that kind of stuff. So I've been teaching art for 36 years, ran an art gallery for 25, and am also an artist myself. So I do paint and draw and sculpt and all that stuff. So I'm pulling all of that knowledge together as I comment on artwork that I see on the internet. My content is coming over from my TikTok channel because I assume TikTok's going to go away someday. So I've been downloading, saving, and uploading all that stuff here to YouTube, which is why sometimes it feels a little odd. YouTube doesn't allow me to duet a video, like to have a side-by-side, whereas TikTok does. So that's how I'm able to make that happen. But if you have any questions for me, this is a great time to ask. I'm free for a little bit, and I thought, oh, let's give this a shot. So I see somebody's from Canada. Hello, Canada. And I don't, maybe everybody's shy and doesn't want to ask a question. But I'm just wanted to try this live feature and see how it might go. I've appreciated the interactions that I've had on YouTube. It's a different, a totally different platform than TikTok. I feel like people are a little bit more mature over here, possibly. Might be the demographics of age. We still get some idiots in the comments, so I just ban them immediately. Somebody makes an unnice comment, I just get rid of them. I don't use TikTok, so I really appreciate you posting here. You have good content. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to pull together 36 years of my experience as a teacher, 25 as a gallery owner, and God, I've been painting since I was 2 years old. So, we're going on 50 years of art. Mine is only one opinion, but I do have some information to kind of back up what it is that I'm sharing. And I want to bring some positivity from the art world, to other people. I'm nearing retirement, so this is another thing that I could do. So I'm just kind of slowly letting this channel build. My TikTok was up to over 600,000 people. I'm not anywhere near that on YouTube. Let me see. Love your description of different art styles. Very easy to understand for a non-art person like me. Excellent. Thank you. And I try not to talk in a lot of art gallery lingo. I just think that's baloney. What is your criteria for reviewing someone's work? I'm a collagist and I love some criticism. Love your channel. Your voice is super soothing. Thank you. My allergies are kicking my butt today because it's, we're out here and all the pine trees are giving off their pollen, so everything is like yellow outside, and it's bothering me. Maybe that's how my voice is working out today. But seriously, the only way right now I'm able to kind of do this side-by-side duet is on TikTok. So YouTube doesn't have that feature. I hope they roll something out like that. I think it would be very helpful. But if you are on TikTok and you post a video of your work, make it about a minute long, then tag me. And it's the same, name I have here at ArtEdGuru, ArtEdGuru. Then I'll see it and I can create a duet, download it, and then upload it here to YouTube. So that's kind of how I create my content at the moment. I haven't figured out how to do this side-by-side on YouTube. There's probably an app that will help do that. Can you record an audiobook? Soothe me while I sleep. I don't know. I do have some videos of me reading from some of my books. So if you look at my long format videos, there's the If Picasso series. So I wrote books that are illustrated by, gosh, we have over 100 art teachers, and each one took an artist from history and created an illustration in the style of that artist. So like we did one book, If Picasso Went on Vacation. So we did international landmarks in the styles of different artists throughout history. And then once the illustrations were done, I created poetry that would teach people about the place, teach people about the artist, and created a rhyming scheme that works well for that. So if you look at my long format videos and look up If Picasso, it should show up. You can hear me reading, from the children's books that I created. I don't know if I'd do something long form like The Hobbit or whatever. I don't know. It might be too big of a project for me. But thank you. I appreciate that. I've gotten a lot of comments that people like my voice, and then there's other people who are just like, the way you say your asses makes me want to throw up. And I just click and ban them from my channel. Mostly, if people can disagree with me, I don't care about that, but I just don't want people to be mean. I try and just get rid of the meanies. And I do read the comments and comments on comments, and just kind of make sure that it's a safe space, just like my classroom. I don't allow bullying. in my classroom. Students feel safe. I feel comfortable, and yeah, I think that's important. Any other questions out there? I'm more than happy to kind of answer them. Thank you so much. Thank you, Axelby. I appreciate that. Be interesting to see where everyone is from. So I'm in North Carolina. I saw someone was from Canada. I don't know where else in the world people are from. Travel-wise, I have lived in Egypt in the Middle East. I've lived in Japan for a little while. Yeah, so I like to travel. Let's see, has your channel blown up over the last month or two? I feel like I've been seeing you everywhere. Oh, thank you. I think we're up to like 35,000 subscribers. My TikTok is over 600,000. Oh, we got Seattle, Birch Horse. Good to see you. Chef, I also wanted to say things can really feel dark on a day-to-day basis, and getting a dose of creativity and exploration from your videos can be very grounding. Thank you, and I feel the same way you do. I'm not sure how we're all going to make it. I tell my students, look, you're going to have to lead us out of this dark period in history. It's up to you guys, because evidently the old people don't want to do it. Axelby, I'm from London, French originally. The bullying thing is interesting. Artists from back in the day used to hate on each other so much. Yeah, and there was also this thing where artists would sort of hide their techniques and keep it all secret, and if they painted something similar, they'd just trounce them. It just, yeah, I'm okay with sharing stuff. I think that's a better way to go. Chef says the algorithm will show me your videos after I quickly swipe past something from the news. Okay, so that becomes maybe something to emotionally balance you. That's a good thing. And make sure you're subscribed. That way you catch all of my videos. Love from Southern Oregon. Very good. I was in Oregon not too long ago. Loved it out there. It was very beautiful. I have some friends in Portland that we spent some time with, and really enjoyed it out there. We went out to, what's the park out there by Seattle? We drove all up and down the coast there. It was really gorgeous. So let's see if there's any other questions in here that I can answer for you guys. I'm going to probably start slowing down how many videos I post a day. In the beginning, I was doing like 9, because I have thousands of them over on TikTok, and I was just kind of downloading them. And then someone said, if you do too many, it can, get your subscribers a little ticked off because they see like too much, and it can overwhelm them, so I get it. LK, I'm from Germany, starting on my art journey, and I love the energy you have. Thank you. Thank you very much. I have not been to Germany. I've been to the airport in Germany on my way to other places, but I would love to go to Germany, go through the Alps and things like that. Is needle felting an art or a craft? It depends on how you use it. Every craft thing can be used to create what some people call fine art. Craft and art are very important things in our lives, and one is not better than the other. But as an art teacher, I need to kind of help my students differentiate what it is they're looking at and understand what they're looking at. So in general, craft is more functional and decorative, and art tends to be more expressive. Like, it's not just about the object is saying something a bit more about the maker or about the environment or whatever it is. That's just my take on it. If you try and create a definition of art, you will have thousands of different definitions of art. And then, there's cultural arts, and there's a totally different way of looking at art from their perspective. Like in some of the African nations where they do wood carving, they're trying to stay as close to the tradition as possible, so there isn't a lot of variation in some of the work, and that's considered honoring their ancestors. Whereas in Western society, we see, somebody copying work the way it was done before as sort of stagnant or stale, but really it's not for them. It's a very spiritual and important thing. So we have to be able to look at craft through different eyes to really evaluate it. And as a white guy in North Carolina, I am probably not the one to judge, carvings from Africa. I can pull on my knowledge from the history courses that I took, but I would, defer to somebody else who has more experience and has kind of lived the life before making those kinds of judgments. So, yeah, craft is a really interesting topic, especially where it crosses over into art, and you get a lot of people who are very passionate about it, which is great. I think if you can get passionate about any subject, that's awesome. So, anyone else have any questions? Does your art knowledge extend to something like music? I'm generally curious on opinions of music and such. I have, okay, so I've actually composed 12 original pieces of piano music. When I was younger, I had a baby grand piano that I was taking care of for somebody who was between homes, and I had it for many years and composed 12 of my own original pieces. And I knew the piano was leaving, so I decided I'd make a CD of the 12 songs, and I had a friend of mine write it all down because I didn't really read music. I mean, I can kind of pick out a note and figure out which note is what, but I don't read music, like a real composer should. So I do have them written down somewhere. I have some CDs somewhere, but yeah, I think creativity needs to come out in some way, whether it's a painting, a drawing, a dance, music, etc. Hi, Abby Grayson. Thank you for your videos. They are fantastic because they explain what's good and what to look for when making and composing art. That's awesome. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I want to get lots of different points of view on art because if you have 1,000 artists, they're going to do things 1,000 different ways, and each way is correct for them. There's no one way to do something. I duetted somebody who paints their canvas with 70 layers of paint and then carves it. Who comes up with that? I mean, that's carving paint. So yeah, you never know what's going to work and what doesn't work. And charcoal video, love your style. Yeah, there's something about the feeling of charcoal that I don't like, and as an art teacher, I'm probably I don't know. I don't teach charcoal in my class because it gets everywhere, like oil paint as well. So if you got a little charcoal on your finger, you pick up something else, it's got charcoal on it, and then someone else picks up that and it's got more charcoal. It just spreads through the whole room, and you can't really get rid of it. It's like, yeah, glitter. I don't, I don't like glitter. I don't like pastels, chalk pastels. I like oil pastels. Those are really cool. It's like paint in a stick. But the chalky stuff, now, if my students want to explore it, they're welcome to it. I have a big box that they can play with, so I don't ban it or anything. Have your views on poured paint art changed? I don't know. I mean, if you go into a room and 50 different people are exhibiting their poured art paintings, you can't really tell who did what because it's all this similar technique, unless somebody favors a certain mix of colors. So if somebody uses it as one technique in a larger thing, then I can kind of grab onto it and say, oh, I see what you're trying to express. But if it's just this one thing, for me, it doesn't work. I need more of a visual challenge as an art teacher and somebody who's been creating art for over 50 years. So for me, if you enjoy it, God bless you. Keep doing it. Whatever makes your soul warm, go for it. But for me, I'd just be like, okay, But there is a couple of artists who do pouring of paint and do it in such a way that I think is interesting. When people ask me for advice, I always tell them, it's not bad, you just haven't finished yet. Okay, that's not a bad way to look at it. I know when I give a project to my students, I tell them 3 things they must do, and then 3 things they should consider so that they can kind of exceed expectations. So it might be, like one of the expectations might be include a foreground, middle ground, background, and overlap. Another one might be show me some color transitions. They should be able to do that. And then show me some shading. So those might be the three things that I would want to see in their painting. And then the three things that maybe they could exceed expectations with are like, show me some detailed pattern. Show me shading using analogous colors or complementary colors. So, you know, things that kind of step it up and make it a little bit more challenging. Scratch. Thank you. Grace and Brilliant. Thank you. I really appreciate how you express it. Thank you, Chef. Easel and Echoes. I really enjoy your videos. I think you give solid advice and very reasonable critique. Thank you. Yeah, and I try and keep things positive. I don't put out work and trash it. I also make sure, as best I can, to give credit to the original artist. And sometimes the person who made the video isn't necessarily the original artist. So I'll search on my own, put in their @ or whatever into the title as best I can find. So I want to, and particularly smaller creators. If it's somebody who's like homespun and maybe only has, you know, 10 followers or something, I'm very careful to make sure I'll put in maybe their website or something, and I'll go that extra mile because I really want to make sure I'm giving credit, especially to smaller creators. Big creators, you know, they don't need my help, and I'm not going to be that helpful anyway. I don't have enough followers to have that kind of influence. Not on YouTube. TikTok, maybe with 600,000 followers, but not YouTube, not yet. Cool. Well, I appreciate that, you know, you feel that I'm giving, you know, good critiques. I've been very careful, you know, going through the comments, getting rid of any of the meanies and bullies. And people who just say things sideways that just feel like, oh, that's a dig. And I even have to use ChatGPT sometimes to understand what little comments and emojis actually mean. You know, sometimes they're positive, and then sometimes it's like, oh, okay, that's not nice. So I'll just block them. I don't give them a second chance or anything. It's just like block it. I don't need that kind of energy around. It's already challenging. You turn on the news and you're just like, oh my God, the world's gonna blow up. So I need to get away, make some art, and yeah. What started your art journey? I think probably through my mom. She was an art student when she had me as a baby. Her mother was an artist. That's my grandmother. I have some of her pieces in my house now. And her mother was an artist, and I have some of her paintings as well. So my great-great-grandmother painted until she was 102. Art was always encouraged when I was little. When my parents had me, I was the first baby, and they had very, very little money. So my mom bought butcher's paper, like the paper they wrap meat up in, and she would roll it across the floor and give me a box of crayons, and I would draw all day. That was my toy when I was 2 years old. I did not have trucks and cars and, you know, action figures or any of that. They just couldn't afford that kind of stuff. But crayons and butcher paper, that's what I had. And I guess it was always encouraged, and it was something that, you know, people could look at and say, hey, that's really cool. And I, you know, I would glow from that. So that was good. And then sort of continued. And then I think in high school, I thought I can't really make a career in art. And I didn't have any really good art teachers. Most of the art teachers I had, except for one, were pretty awful. So I would do art at home because I enjoyed it, but art at school, I would often ruin it just because I didn't like what they were doing. They would do that kind of thing where they, you know, the teacher makes a thing and you make yours that looks exactly like theirs. And, you know, the kids who matched it the best got the high grade. I hated that. So, you know, I didn't want to be an art teacher because I thought that's what it was. However, when I went to college, I started in pre-law because I could argue pretty well. But I still took some side art classes. And one of the side classes I took was puppeteering and making puppets. And that teacher was the head of the art education department. And she saw me helping all the other students make their puppets. And she's like, why aren't you in art education? I told her my experience. And she said, well, that's not what we do anymore. So I was the only student that year to switch from from pre-law to art education, and I haven't looked back. I hope that answers your question. Social media is a hellscape. Thanks for enduring it to share content for good. If you ever need to use tools to make it easier or even take a break from it, all that would be super reasonable. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been trying to use my social media, at least on TikTok. I tried monetizing because I thought maybe I could get some money for art supplies, but I was like earning, I get thousands and thousands of views. But then you monetize and it only shows your videos to people who live like close to you. So I would lose all of my videos or my viewers. So I just left it unmonetized and made connections to my Donors Choose campaigns. So we've raised probably $10,000 worth of art supplies for my high school students, which is great because we're in an urban school district. It's hard to get money, for supplies. Half of the kids are on free meals, so, they don't have the money to go out and buy that stuff. So now, on my bio or, my homepage, there's links if people want to make a donation so my kids can get some art supplies. I do that. I'm not really about making money off of the social media. I figure if this is a way I can support my kids and not have to use my own money all the time, to buy supplies that I want to use, there's a great way to do it. Has your art changed since reviewing art on TikTok? No, but I've definitely gotten some ideas that I use in my classroom from stuff that I've seen on TikTok. There was one in particular I tried. It's a high pressure sodium lamp, and it's the kind they use out in industrial parking lots. But when the lamp is on, you can only really see kind of like black and white. So I bought one of those, set it up in my classroom, and the kids had to pick their colors, pick their pictures that they were going to paint, all with this light, and the colors were just bizarre because they can't really see color under the lamp. And it gave them an experience of what it would like to be colorblind. And they really enjoyed it. And yeah, and that was an idea I got from TikTok, so that was kind of cool. It's the guy from the shorts. Hello. Nothing to see here. Hi. All right, so yeah, I appreciate you guys connecting with me here. I'm actually going to sign off because I've got to walk around a little bit. I had an incident this weekend and had to go to the hospital. Thank God things are okay now, but I've got to move my legs as part of my physical therapy, which is one of the reasons I was able to sit here and chat with you guys. But I'm doing okay. I go back to school on Monday. I missed a week. The kids, I really wanted to teach my kids sculpture, and they were so excited to do it, and then something happened, and I couldn't. I lost a week. But anyway, be well. Thank you. Yep, I will definitely take care. I got a little message from my spouse. You need to walk around. Okay, I'm going to walk around. But please, if you're not subscribed, please make sure you're subscribed, and then you'll get all of my videos. And then if you want to learn more about me, see my art, just go to my, my homepage, and there's links there. You can see all sorts of fun stuff. All right, that's it. I'll talk to you guys later.